Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Vancouver edition for Sunday, December 15, 2024.
Legal issues for thin developers in Canada. A lawyer for Kingset Mortgage Corporation has accused thin developers of misusing funds that were meant for the Canada Revenue Agency. As a result, 3 condominium projects in the Lower Mainland of British Columbia are now going into receivership. A judge has appointed a receiver to manage the unsold units in Burnaby and Richmond. The court session lasted just 30 minutes. This situation raises concerns about the financial health of the developers and how it might affect the local real estate market. No specific amounts of money were mentioned in the article.
Rosebud Theatre's recovery journey. The Rosebud Theatre, a cherished local venue in Rosebud, Alberta, Canada, faced a loss of $500,000 Canadian due to the pandemic in 2020. Fortunately, community members came together to support the theater through generous donations. Successful shows like The Sound of Music in 2023 and Little Women in 2024 were crucial in its recovery. Today, the Rosebud Theatre continues to be an important part of the community art scene.
Rising holiday costs in British Columbia. The cost of the holiday season is increasing in British Columbia, Canada. Prices have jumped by 21% since January 2019, affecting gifts, meals, and decorations. Many families are feeling the pinch from these rising expenses. The Business Council of British Columbia says that budgeting is now crucial. To save money during the holidays, people might want to consider bargain shopping and other budget-friendly options.
Homelessness among seniors in Cranbrook, BC. Cranbrook, a city in British Columbia, Canada, is facing a growing challenge with homelessness among older adults. A recent survey found that nearly 1/3 of the homeless population in Cranbrook are seniors. To tackle this urgent issue, British Columbia Housing plans to open a long-term shelter and a center specifically for older adults. These initiatives aim to address the immediate needs of seniors who are without homes in the community.
RCMP Police Dog Program faces challenges. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, or RCMP, is encountering significant difficulties with its police dog program. An internal review has uncovered problems such as a lack of personnel, low staff motivation, and inadequate facilities at the training center in Alberta, Canada. This evaluation covers the years from 2018 to 2024 and reveals that just over half of the positions at the training center are currently filled. The report highlights potential health hazards for both officers and dogs due to poor infrastructure. Suggestions from the review include improving working conditions and hiring more staff. Additionally, the RCMP relies on its breeding program for German Shepherds to meet high demand and manage costs effectively. The evaluation emphasizes the urgent need for better resources and support for dog handlers and training efforts.
Canada Post Strike Update. The Canada Post strike has now reached 4 weeks, having started on November 15, 2023. This strike began due to ongoing issues between Canada Post and the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. Federal Labour Minister Stephen McKinnon has announced plans to send the matter to the Canada Industrial Relations Board for a solution. As a result, mail delivery across Canada is facing delays, affecting countless residents and local businesses. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers argues that this strike is necessary to secure better working conditions and fair wages.
Memorial service for John Horgan. A memorial service for John Horgan, the former Premier of British Columbia, will take place on December 15 at the Q Centre in Colwood, Canada. Horgan passed away on November 12 at the age of 65 after fighting cancer. He served as Premier from July 2017 to November 2022 and was very popular, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. You are welcome to attend the service, but please remember to reserve your tickets ahead of time. Horgan's leadership and efforts for the province will be honored during this event.
Highlights from Canada. This week in Canada features several important events. Young swimmer Summer McIntosh set a world record in Budapest, Hungary. In Montreal, a civil trial involving Gilbert Rozon continues, sparking important conversations about responsibility in the entertainment industry. Meanwhile, the Royal Canadian Navy launched a new ship in North Vancouver, improving the country's defense capabilities. These events highlight Canada's impressive accomplishments in sports, legal matters, and military advancements.
Canadian short track skaters shine in Seoul. Canadian short track skaters had an impressive performance at the World Cup in Seoul, South Korea. The team won 3 gold medals and 2 silver medals. Athletes William Danjanu and Stephen Dubois brought home gold, while Danae Blaise and Jordan Pierre-Giles contributed to the silver wins. This victory marks the 3rd consecutive win for the Canadian women's relay team. The event showcased the talent and determination of Canadian athletes on the global stage.
Murder charge in West Vancouver. A 39-year-old man has been charged with murder in West Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. This incident occurred on December 13, 2024, when police conducted a safety check in the Ambleside district. Officers discovered a woman who had died with concerning injuries. The suspect was arrested immediately, and the British Columbia Prosecution Service filed the murder charge the following day. Authorities believe this case is connected to domestic violence.
Power outages in British Columbia due to strong winds. Strong winds have caused significant power failures for nearly 200,000 customers in the Lower Mainland and Sunshine Coast regions of British Columbia, Canada. An additional 12,000 outages were reported on Vancouver Island. As of 4:30 p.m., 129,000 customers are still without power, with Surrey facing the highest impact, affecting 75,000 people. Winds were blowing at about 62 miles per hour, leading to downed trees and damaged power lines. BC Hydro, the main electric utility company in British Columbia, has sent around 250 workers to help repair the damage. Ongoing weather conditions may result in more outages. Stay safe and prepared as the situation develops.
Financial burden of cancer in Canada. A recent study from the Canadian Cancer Society reveals that Canadians with cancer and their caregivers face a staggering financial strain of about 7 billion Canadian dollars each year, which is roughly $5.5 billion US. On average, an individual deals with costs of around 33,000 Canadian dollars over their lifetime, translating to about 24,400 US. The total cost of cancer to society reaches about 37 billion Canadian dollars, or around 27 billion US. Patients pay 20% of these costs themselves. This study highlights the significant financial challenges that can lead patients to delay or avoid essential care.
Mudslide closes Sea to Sky Highway. A mudslide has shut down the Sea to Sky Highway in British Columbia, Canada. This incident happened near Lions Bay, blocking the road in both directions. Emergency services are on site evaluating the damage. The highway is expected to stay closed until midnight. Thankfully, no injuries have been reported. Heavy rain likely triggered the mudslide, causing downed trees and rubble on the road. Drivers should stay away from the area while crews work to clear the highway.
Landslide closes highway in British Columbia. A massive landslide has shut down the Sea to Sky Highway in British Columbia, making it difficult for travelers between Vancouver and Whistler. The landslide blocked the road in both directions, creating a chaotic scene. Witnesses described the situation as overwhelming. Local authorities are assessing the damage and ensuring safety in the area. The cause of the landslide is still under investigation, so if you're planning to travel in that region, be sure to look for alternative routes.
Senator challenges horse exports to Japan. A senator from Manitoba, Canada, is challenging horse exports to Japan. They are calling for support to stop flying horses for slaughter through Bill C-355. Concerns about animal welfare have come up, with reports showing that more than 20 horses died during transport from Canada to Japan between May 2023 and June 2024. The senator worries that ongoing debates might delay this proposed law until after a federal election, putting its future at risk. Animal advocacy groups stress the need for better treatment of horses during transport.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's headphone news. News summary brought to you by AI.